All right, we're going to begin with the speed drill today. So if you would open up your speed drill booklets to page 14 and all multiplication and addition here today. All multiplication and addition. 1 through 5, you got some multiplication problems, and 6 through 10, you got some addition problems. You may want an extra sheet of paper for the multiplication because they're written sideways. So if you say, yep, I'm going to want some extra paper, go and get that out now. We have 3.5 minutes to complete the speed drill. Just go in whatever order you deem is easiest for you. Some of these problems very, very easy. As you're doing the addition, if you wanted to think through, certain add-ins are easier to add than others. You wanted to think, rearranging numbers. We kind of referenced that when we talked about the commutative property and the associative properties. Feel free, you don't have to. You can just add them up normal, that's fine. But there are some things if you wanted to put into play, you could. You'll have 3.5 minutes. Speed drill number 30 at the bottom of the page. And you may begin. Stop. All right, pencils off your desks. Pencils off your desks. And pens out. Pencils off your desks, pens out. Exchange with the person behind you. So hand your booklet to the person directly behind you. If you're at the front of the row, take it to the, or if you're at the back, bring it to the front. All right, sign your name at the bottom of the page as the grader. Sign your name at the bottom of the page as the grader in pen. Again, pencils should be off your desks. And these are 10 points each. All right, going across the top row, when you multiply, you should get 204. Again, 204. The next one, 378. 378. Number 3 is 360. 360, number of degrees in the sum of the central angles of a circle. Number 4 is 132. 132, we memorized that one in elementary school. And number 5 is 2,400. 2,400. Number 6, going across the bottom row now, 25,588. 25,588. Number 7, 149,177. 149,177. Number 8, we should have had 28,137. 28,137. Number 9 should have had 2,845. 2,845. And number 10, we should have had 358. 358. Yes, sir.
May you please just repeat 6?
Number 6 again, 25,588. Yes, ma'am.
Would it repeat 5?
20,400. You need to make sure you're listening. I'm saying each one twice, and you're not writing anything unless they get it wrong. Put a little check. There's nothing else to write. So don't allow your mind to wander. Stay focused. Joel, did you have a question also?
Well, what if we don't have a comma?
Just minus a point. Just minus a point for that. All right, 10 points each otherwise. Go ahead and put the score in the score blank. Also, once you've written the score in the score blank, on the semester 2 speed drill score page, make sure you put it right next to where it says speed drill 30. So write the score in the score blank, turn to the score page at the beginning of the booklet, put it next to where it says speed drill 30. Once you got the score written both places, hand it back to the person in front of you. If you're at the front of the row, take it to the back. Once you got the score both places, hand it forward to the person in front of you. If you're at the front, take it to the back. Were there any hundreds today? Take a look at your score. Any hundreds today? All right, good. Luciana. How about 90s? Just missed one. Just missed one. Okay, how about 80s? Just missed 2. I do want to take a look at one of these addition problems with you. I mentioned using the commutative or associative properties. Look at number 9. I'm going to go ahead and write it on the board. I know you could follow along there at your seats, but want to point out that 625. It would help if I could copy it correctly. 625, with 827 and a 593. So one of the things I like to do as I'm adding up things is I like to find tens in the column of add-ins. We know, of course, that 6 plus 4 is 10. We also know 7 plus 3 is 10. Well, so far in the class, that's 25. Carry the 2. I see that 1 and 9 makes 10. I see that 8 and 2 makes 10. So far that's 24. Carry the 2. I see that 4 and 6 is 10. I see that 8 and 2 is 10. So that's 28. It allows you to very quickly add things together. Instead of 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 5 is 15, plus 7 is, dang it, 22. 22 plus 3 is 25. Carry the 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 8 is 11, plus 2 is 13, plus 2 is 15, plus 9 is, dang it, 24. Carry the 2. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus 6 is 15, plus 8, dang it, 23. Plus 5 is 28. And I think that's how a lot of us are adding, isn't it? Don't be in the dang it category where you're having to add hard numbers. Now, sometimes you can't help it, right? There are some problems, there's nothing you can do. But look for tens. 5 and 5, 6 and 4, 7 and 3, 2 and 8, 9 and 1. You know how to put tens together. If you use that commutative property, essentially, or associative, you might almost say you're grouping numbers together, it really makes addition much, much easier. So I wanted to show that to you. That, you know, if you're bored in study hall sometime, had nothing else to do, you'd find something else to do. But if you had nothing else to do, maybe make up some addition, practice that kind of thing. All right, pass those forward if you would, please. Pass those forward if you would, please. try to help you be fast, try to help you be lazy, because that's what we are as mathematicians. Page 113 in your textbooks. Page 113 in your textbooks. There we go, finally got them to the front here. Page 113 in your textbooks. Nothing new today. We're going to use today as a review day. Make sure we're keeping up well. I feel like we're mostly doing just fine. But there's some little things. Thinking of negative numbers is a little bit different, right? Didn't do a lot of this in 6th grade, if any. And so I want to make sure we shore things up on this front. Let's drop down to the bottom of page 113, though, and look through this chapter review here, just keeping things going. Number 1, what property of arithmetic states that the order of addends can be changed without affecting the answer? What property says the order of addends can be changed? Shaylin?
I'm sorry, from a blank, commutative.
Commutative. Write that down. C-O-M-M-U-T-A-T-I-V-E. Commutative. 2 M's. Commutative. All right, there's not a double T in there. There are 2 total, but not double T's. Commutative property. Number 2, the associative property cannot be applied to which of those operations? You can't use the associative property for which 2? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Kirsten?
Subtraction and division.
Subtraction and division. Number 2, subtraction and division. They are not associative. Number 3, direction on the number line is indicated by 2 symbols. Which symbol means move to the left? On the number line, which symbol tells you to go to the left? Michael?
Negative.
Negative. Negative symbol. All right, number 4, what is the reference point? We actually call it the origin, but what is the reference point on the number line? What is the reference point on the number line? Joel?
0.
0 is the reference point. Everything stems off from 0. In fact, distance from 0. Anyone remember what we call that? How far a number is from 0 on the number line? For instance, negative 12 is 12 units from the number line. Positive 12 is 12 units from 0. So distance from 0 we call, Jalen?
Absolute value.
Absolute value. That's not in here. All right, number 5. What can be described as adding the opposite? Or the way I say it is adding the inverse. Class?
Additive inverses.
No. What process is adding the inverse? Subtraction. Subtraction is adding the inverse. Subtraction is adding the inverse. Or adding the opposite. Inverse is a better term for it, but opposite works. Turn the page, number 6. What term describes 2 numbers with the same absolute value but opposite signs? What term describes 2 numbers with the same absolute value but opposite signs? Elaine? Those are additive inverses. Good. Number 7. What is the sum of additive inverses? Number 6. Give me a moment to write that. Number 7. What is the sum of 2 addends with the same absolute value but opposite signs? We just called them additive inverses. What do you get if you add additive inverses? What would you get when you add, Ben?
Inverse.
If you add 2 additive inverses, like negative 8 and positive 8, if you add them, what do you get?
0.
0. Anytime you add additive inverses, you get 0. So number 7, the answer is 0. Questions on any of those questions? All right, drop down to number 8 to 13. Fill in the blank that would need to be filled to use a property we've talked about. And then underneath each of these, write what property we're using. So numbers 8 through 13, fill in the blanks with the appropriate numbers and tell what property is being used. Just about 2 minutes to work on that. think it's a K3 kid. Life's tough when you're 3, you know? Sit up, Corey. It'll help you stay awake. Good posture. Feet on the floor, that kind of thing. All right, number 8. What number, first of all, has to be written in the blank, Griffin?
15.
Right, 15 plus 12 equals 12 plus 15. What property is that, Griffin?
Commutative.
Commutative, yes, it's the commutative property. Number 9, what number goes in both blanks, Corey? 3. What property is that? The distributive property, very good. Number 10, what number goes in that blank? Luciana? 5. And what property is being illustrated? Commutative property once again. Number 11, what number has to go in the blank? Bryson?
8.
And 8, what property is that?
Associative.
Associative property, good. Number 12, what number goes in that blank? Joel? 8. And what property is that? Associative once again. And number 13, what numbers have to go in those 2 blanks? Kirsten?
2 and 77.
2 in the first blank, 77 in the next blank. That's the
Distributive
property. Excellent. Let's talk through numbers 14 through 17. Number 14 they already did for you. They took a 6 plus 23. They said you could rewrite that, 23 plus 6, with the commutative property. You can't really regroup anything, so there's no associative property, and there's nothing outside parentheses to distribute, so you can't use the distributive property, so, you know, that's what we got on 14. What about 15? Can we rewrite that with the commutative property, Michael?
Yes.
How?
76 times 15.
All right, so in the blank, you go ahead and put 76 times 15. Can we rewrite that with the associative? You're doing number 15 with me. Make sure you're writing as we're talking here. Can we use the associative property on 15, Michael?
No, sir.
No, you can't regroup because there's nothing grouped in the first place. Can we use the distributive property?
No, sir.
No, can't do that either. So we're good to go there. Number 16, can we rewrite that with the commutative property, Jalen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now there's a few different ways you could do it. Give me one of the ways you could rewrite that with the commutative property, Jalen.
7 times 1 plus 3.
7 times, and then in the parentheses, instead of 3 plus 1, you could say 1 plus 3. Did anyone else have another way you could rewrite that with the commutative property? Griffin?
3 plus 1 times 7.
Good. If you put the 3 plus 1, then times the 7, that would be the commutative property of multiplication. Here we use the commutative property of addition. Technically, there's a third way you could do it if you did both commutative properties of addition and multiplication. Again, still getting the same hands. Okay, go ahead, Kirsten.
1 plus 3 times 7.
This way we flip what's in the addition and we flip the multiplication both. I would lean toward one of these ways. I mean, let's not overdo it, but still, any of those would work. Can we rewrite this with the associative property? Could we regroup on number 16, Jalen?
No, sir.
No. You say, but can't I just put the 7 times 3 in parentheses? No. If it's all multiplication, you can change a grouping. If it's all addition, you can change a grouping. When there's a mixture of processes, you can't. What about distributive property? Could I rewrite that with a distributive property? Luciana?
Yes.
Yes, because I have something being multiplied by an addition or subtraction, in this case an addition. How would I rewrite it with the distributive property, Luciana?
3 times 7 plus 1 times 7.
There we go. Or the better way is generally with the 7 first, but it doesn't technically matter. 7 times 3, 7 times 1, again, you just commutatived it at the same time. But yeah, 3 times the 7, and then the 1 times the 7. Everybody gets multiplied by the 7. Number 17. Could we rewrite that with the commutative property, Bryson?
No, yes.
Yeah, I can change the order in which I multiply. Give me, there's a few different ways actually, but give me one of the ways we could rewrite 17.
8 times 3 times 4.
Absolutely. Give me another way we could rewrite it, Corey.
8 times 4 times
Sure, give me another way, Ben.
4 times 3 times 8.
Sure, and you get the idea. There's actually, I think, 6 different ways you could do it. One of them was given, so there's 5 different ways you could redo it. We'll move on for sake of space. What about the associative property? Could I group some things on number 17, Elaine?
Yes.
Yes. Now, I won't change groupings necessarily, but I could group things that weren't previously grouped. So, Elaine, one way you could rewrite this with the associative property.
3 times 4 times 8.
Well, you rearranged the numbers too, so you actually were using the commutative there as well. Let's leave the order the same. Let's leave the 3 times the 8 times the 4. And with the associative property, we're just putting something in parentheses.
3 times 8.
Okay, so you could put the 3 times 8 in parentheses and then multiply the 4. Or, Elaine,
You could group the 8 times 4 and leave the 3.
there we go. So if we're just using the associative property, leaving the 8, the 3, the 8, the 4 in that order, you could group either the 3 times 8 or the 8 times 4. Could you use the distributive property here? Can we use the distributive property here? Class?
No.
No. No, we can't do that. That doesn't fit to what distribution would be. Questions on those properties? Questions on those properties? All right, drop down to numbers 18 to 23. Now, they say to use the number line. I say, if you really want to, you can. I just assume you use those rules. But every one of these problems, class, is a subtraction problem. And do we actually subtract? No. When you see a subtraction symbol, you think to yourself, we don't do that here. And so what we do, class, is we add the inverse. Again, what do we do when we see subtraction?
Add the inverse.
Which means the subtraction symbol changes to a plus sign, an addition symbol. And which of the 2 signs do we make change, class? The one after. Never the one before the subtraction, the one after. If it was negative, it becomes? If it was positive, it becomes?
Negative.
And then we apply these 2 adding signed number rules. Say them with me, class. If the signs are the same, add and keep the sign. If the signs are different, subtract and choose the sign of the greater absolute value. Now again, you don't ask yourself, are the signs the same or different when you first see it? You make it adding the inverse first. Then, once you've added the inverse, now you're adding the signed numbers, now you apply the rule. Do numbers 18 to 23 either with or without the number line. 18 to 23 with or without the number line. I feel like I got some worker aheaders here. All right. Number 18. Corey, how did you rewrite it?
Positive 3 plus negative 3.
Good. Positive 3 plus negative 3. And without the number line, we already knew the answer was going to be 0. Number 19. How did you rewrite it, Luciana?
Positive 4 plus positive 1.
Positive 4 plus positive 1 gives us?
Positive 5.
Positive 5 as we add and keep the sign. Number 20. How do we rewrite that, Bryson?
Negative 6 plus
Negative 6 plus negative 4. And since the signs are the same, we add and keep the sign. We get?
10.
Keep the sign?
Oh, plus 10. Or positive 10.
You get a negative 6
negative
plus a
10.
negative 4, so negative 10. There we go. Be careful to keep the sign. Number 21, Griffin, how do we rewrite it?
Negative 2 plus positive 3.
Great job. Negative 2 plus positive 3, and the signs are different, so try to keep the sign of the greater. We get?
Positive 1.
Positive 1. Number 22. Ben, how do we rewrite it?
4 plus negative 9.
4 plus negative 9. Signs are different, so try to keep the sign of the greater. We get?
-5.
-5. Number 23, how do we rewrite it, Kirsten?
Positive 9 plus negative 14.
Positive 9 plus negative 14, subtract, keep the sign of the greater because the signs are different. We get
Negative 5.
-5. How many? 6 for 6. Got them all. Any questions at all on those? All right, look at the top of the next page. We've got a whole bunch of signed numbers we're adding together. Don't start yet. Don't start yet. We've got a whole bunch of signed numbers we're adding together. But notice, after number 45, we've got more than just 2. So when there's more than just 2, you can't say, are the signs the same or are the signs different? Because there's lots of different signed numbers potentially, right? So what I told you yesterday is if you have a whole bunch of different signed numbers, start by adding together all of your positives, get one single positive answer. Then add together all of your negatives. Again, add and keep the sign. You're going to get one solitary negative answer. And then take those two partial answers, if you will, and subtract and choose the sign of the greater absolute value. Okay, so you only have to do the subtraction part once. I want you only to do the even numbered problems. Do only the even numbered problems, 24 to 50. Do not do the odds yet. 24 to 50, the evens. When you finish, pencil down, look this way so I know that you're done. But do not work the odds yet. Corey, would you stand? As each person finishes, hold up a 2 for the next person, 3 after that, and just let them know what number they are. As you finish, pencil down, look at Corey. He'll tell you what number you are. No, he'll stand. He'll tell you what number you are. You know, he's just standing up so you can see him better. Okay, once he's told you your number, you don't have to stare at him anymore. We don't want you to hurt your eyes. I'm just picking on you, Corey. Take another minute or so to be working. Corey, have a seat. And Corey was first. Corey, what did you get for number 24?
-2.
-2. Number 26, Corey.
6.
+6. Number 28.
-6.
-6. Number 30.
0.
0. Number 32.
-1.
-1. Number 34.
5.
+5. Number 36.
-11.
-11 is correct. Number 38.
-4.
-4 is correct. Number 40.
-5.
-5. Great job. Number 42.
67. -67.
What did you write? Oh, okay. It is -67, but you did not have the negative. Second was Jalen. Are you perfect so far?
Yes.
Jalen, what did you get for number 44?
44, -29.
Oh, all right. Who's third? Elaine, are you perfect so far?
Yes.
What did you get for number 44?
-28.
-28. She can't believe it. -28 is correct. Number 46, Elaine.
17.
17 is correct. Number 48.
21.
+21. And number 50.
+26.
+26. Did anyone else get them all correct, but not quite as fast as Elaine? Anyone else perfect? All right, couple of you. Anyone just miss one? Nice catch. Anyone just miss one? Anyone just miss two? Are there any questions on any of the ones that we missed on the even numbered problems? Questions on any of the ones we missed on the even numbered problems? All right, now, show your book. You two guys, show your books to each other. You two. Show your books. Check each other's books. Make sure they haven't done the odds yet. Make sure they haven't done the odds yet. So look at each other's books. Make sure there's no odds completed. Can't have any cheating. So Joel and Elaine, check each other's books. Are we all good? No odds done yet?
That would be odd.
You had one of the odds done. I'm gonna put a 10-second handicap on you. You have to wait 10 seconds to start.
It was
All right. It doesn't matter. All right. Are there anyone else has an odd problem or two done? Everyone else we're clear. All right. Go through now. Do 25 to 49 the odds. Not you yet. Go.
I don't even know why I'm crying.
Are you ready? Go. First person to finish, stand. Keep track of the numbers. As you finish, check with Corey to see your number. Once you get your number, you may not change answers, so leave your pencils down after you've gotten your number from Corey.
I missed one. Can I fix it?
No, because that would mess up all the numbering system. So, yeah, but I'm glad you already found your mistake.
I didn't write it. That's the thing.
Oh, you didn't even write it.
I didn't even write it.
I did.
C.
Gotta learn to be more careful. I don't want to have to make Corey figure out how to read all the numbers. All right, pencils down. Let's take a look at the odds together now. We did the evens last time. Odds, and we'll start with Corey, number 25. What'd you get?
Negative 3.
-3, number 27.
Negative 13.
Negative 13, 29.
Negative 7.
Oh, who was second?
Um,
Michael, are you good on the first two?
Yeah.
What'd you get on 29?
7.
+7. Keep the sign of the greater. All right, Michael, we stay with you, number 31.
Negative 3.
-3, number 33.
Positive 9.
+9, good, number 35.
Positive 20.
+20, 37.
30.
Positive,
Positive 30.
yeah, +30.
Yeah.
Number 39.
39. Negative 29.
-29, number 41.
Negative 30.
-30, number 43.
80.
+80, number 45.
Negative 10.
-10, great job, number 47.
Negative 44.
-44, and the number 49.
Negative 55.
-55, good. All right. Anyone else perfect? Or, I know some of you said you skipped some by accident. Anyone say, I'm perfect on the ones I did, I just forgot to do one. Yeah. All right, anyone actually get a wrong answer on just one of them? There was one that you had a wrong answer on. Anyone just have 2 wrong answers? All right, are there any of these we have questions on? Yes, sir.
For number 39,
Yes, sir.
I always change the subtraction to addition, but sometimes
Add the
you don't
inverse.
do it.
Right?
But sometimes you.
I want to point something out that Ben says here, class. This means -16 minus 13, right? So what we're supposed to do, class, is add the inverse, right? Change it to adding a -13 to get -29. Now here's another way you could think of it. You could think of it as -16, -13 more, -29. I mean, if you want to really be lazy, don't think of this as a minus. Think of it as a negative. For instance, if I had +3, +5, +8, we'd say these are all positives. You add them up, signs are the same, add and keep the sign, +16. You can look at it the same way here. -16, -13, -29, if we want to be lazy. So it works either way, right? But this is a lazy way. And actually, that's how I do it. Is I just look at it as a negative. I cheat the system a little. So let's give that one more try. This one's the big one, okay? This was a big one. And it's the homework section there on page 115, right below it. There are 21 problems. I am curious to see if anybody in here can go through 21 problems unscathed. But I'm going to have you try it. All right, so homework section now. Make sure you do all the problems. Okay, don't skip any this time, right? First one done, stand. Keep track of the numbers. Numbers 1 to 21 in the homework section. Go. You're doing great. Now, what you can do, the ones on the bottom are the hard ones. Knock out the easy ones first, and then go check all the hard ones. Don't give up. Never give up. When you finish, pencil down, and this time everybody stand as you finish. Each person as you finish stand. You can think of it that way if you want to. Competition. I'll give 1 second. Right, it was the same way. Shh. He was shaking by the end. Once you stand, pencil down. You got 2 people standing so far. Just keep working, keep working. Got 2 more. Just one way, yep. Alright, good. Page 10. Just another minute. 1 more minute to see who else can finish up. Michael. Three guys, 3 girls standing. Keep working. 30 seconds more. Try to get at least 1 more problem done. Good, Griffin. Bryson. All right, have a seat. All right, pencils down. Let's take a look at our answers and see how we did. Corey, once again first. Now, so far, that hasn't voted too well for Corey. So here we go. Third tries the charm, though, Corey. Let's go through these. Number 1.
-11.
Negative 11 is correct. Number 2.
-81.
Oh, all right. We're all ready to number 2. Jalen, did you get negative 11 for the first one?
Yes.
What did you get for number 2?
-63.
Add it to add a positive 9. Signs are different. Subtract, keep the sign of the greater. Negative 63 is correct. Jalen, number 3.
0.
0 is correct. Number 4.
11.
Positive 11 is correct. Number 5.
5.
5 is correct. Number 6.
2.
2 is correct. Number 7.
-5.
Negative 5, yes. Number 8.
-14.
Good. Negative 14. Number 9.
-10.
Excellent. Negative 10. Number 10.
18,
Positive 18 is good. Number 11.
negative 99,
Excellent job. Negative 99. Number 12.
16,
Positive 16 is correct. Number 13.
0,
0 is right. Number 14.
negative 6,
Negative 6, good. Number 15.
7,
Positive 7, excellent. All right, here we get to the hard ones. Number 16.
negative 10,
Negative 10, great job. Number 17.
negative 4,
Negative 4, excellent. Number 18.
7,
Say that again.
7,
Oh, she was doing so good. All right, we go to Elaine. Elaine, you are not perfect so far. Joel, are you perfect so far? Kirsten, are you perfect so far? Michael, are you perfect so far?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So, don't sound so enthusiastic. All right, Michael, what did you get for 18?
I'm gonna mess up. Positive 7.
That's what she
Negative
said.
7. You can come see. I have
Uh-huh.
negative 9.
It is negative 7. That is the correct answer. Okay, he does have negative 7. All right. All right. Number 19, Michael.
Negative 9.
Negative 9 is correct. Number 20.
Negative 33.
Oh, all right. We go to Griffin. Are you perfect so far? Bryson, perfect so far. Oh, all right.
I messed up on the first
Let's
one.
go to Elaine. What did you get for number 20?
30,
Joel, what did you get for number 20?
negative 28,
Ooh, let's see. Ben, what did you get for number 20?
Negative 55.
It's not negative 55, Kirsten?
negative 30,
Negative 30 is correct. Negative 30, our answer for 20. How about number 21? What did you get for that, Elaine?
6,
It is 6. All right, now. All right, I was going to give Candy the first and second if anyone could do it, but I told you at the start, it's a tall ask, right? Going through 21 of these. Now, let's figure out where we had some trouble. I want to focus on 16 to 21, though. And I just really want to look at number 21, because you'll notice even on the poster, negative 7, negative 5 is how I wrote it, because in all my other classes, this is how I teach it. In 7th grade, you're first getting introduced to the idea. I wanted to take it a little slower, but today's the day I'm going to introduce you to this. When you see a minus without another sign, just view it as a negative. So on number 21, it says 2, and think of this as negative 7, positive 24, negative 13. And think of these as negatives, because if you changed to adding the inverse, you would make them negatives anyway. Why waste your time? What is negative 7, negative 13, class? Negative 20. What's 2 and 24? Positive 26. That's where we get our positive 6. Look at the previous problem. We have a negative 29, a positive 13, and then immediately a negative 13 and a negative 1. Well, what do we know about positive 13, negative 13, class? They're going to cancel anyway. So really think of this as negative 29, negative 1, negative 30. Does that make sense? Looking at number 19. Say it with me, class. 1, positive 7, negative 6, negative 5. Stay with me. Negative 6. Your two positives. Positive 1, positive 7, class.
8,
Positive 8. Negative 6, negative 5, negative 6.
17.
Negative 17. Put negative 17 with positive 8, we get
negative 9,
negative 9 when we subtract, keep the sign of the greater. You can do this on number 18 as well, but look at the first two numbers. Negative 3, positive 3, class. They cancel. So now all I've got is a negative 3 and a negative 4 gives negative 7. Do you see another way to think that through? And it's going to make your work faster and I think more accurate. All right? So for homework tonight, you're going to be doing page 113. Page 113, numbers 25 to 44. Page 113, numbers 25 to 44. Do your best. You don't have to race on the homework, obviously. We are taking a quiz over signed numbers tomorrow. So work diligently through the homework, and if there are questions, be ready to ask them tomorrow so we can be ready. Page 113, numbers 25 to 44. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You are dismissed.